Hello, everyone. Welcome. I welcome you all to this evening session of Learn Beyond Classroom. Today we have a special guest, Amit, and let me introduce to him. Amit Arora has been working in the field of outdoor education for over 15 years. His interest in medicine was sparked in 2005, and after finding his newfound passion for wilderness medicine and education, he completed his WAMT in the year 2017 and has been on the National Registry of Emergency Medicine Medical Technicians USA since then. Owing to his experience, having lived and worked in Himalayas, USA, and Southeast Asia, he brings his passion of teaching outdoor leadership and wilderness medicine to every project he commits to. He has worked as an instructor for National Outdoor Leadership School, Outward Bound, and other outdoor education programs over the course of his career. He, at present, is developing self-sustained expedition models for leading groups in the wilderness. He also has keen interest in writing papers and articles on varied topics in the field of wilderness medicine. I welcome you, Amit, to OLND's Learn Beyond Classroom session, and today we'll be discussing learning leadership through outdoors.
Thank you, Vikas.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, Jitendra.
So, to begin with, my first question to you, Amit, is um, why you choose to work as an outdoor educator on outdoor programs.
Oh, when I was in school, I went on a trek with my school. Every year they would go to a different location, and I think it was grade 9, and I really fell in connection with the mountains, and I wanted to learn more about the leadership qualities. And I wanted to learn more about how you can trek on your own uh, without guides or porters. So that's how I got introduced, and I kept learning how to do those things as I progressed in my career. And in the meantime, when I was learning for myself, I also found uh, that this can be a very powerful tool if I'm able to share this with more and more people to help them realize their potential, help them realize, become a better person, or have an experience of their life. So that really drew me into this outdoor education where you go on different places, you go work with different people every other month, every other week sometimes, and provide an experience which is so enriching for them that it just helps them uh, developing their character when they also have fun in the outdoors.
Great, great. That's really
Yeah,
intriguing.
yeah,
Intriguing. That's really intriguing and interesting. Like how outdoors has helped students learn a lot of elements and build character. So,
yeah.
uh, I mean, in the last few years, we have learned and heard a lot about leadership and outdoor leadership in particular. So, can you tell us more about the outdoor leadership program?
Yeah, so an outdoor leadership program can be based on any outdoor activity, and where there's a leadership module attached or progression fixed to that. Currently, the program I'm working with OLND with you and Jitendra is a 7-night, 8-day long outdoor education program, which is based on backpacking. So we are using backpacking as a module to teach life skills. For example, teach them about how to be organized, how to work with others, how to communicate with others. This program is ideal for students who are just about to leave the school and get into their colleges because it's a short duration. There are also programs that can be longer duration for the youth. Um, and this program is more self-sustained, they will be doing everything that needs to be done on an expedition on their own, whether it's about carrying your weight, it's about preparing food for yourself, cleaning your own utensils, covering the ground on your own, and along with that, learning to work with others, learning to lead others, and being led by others. So that's in a nutshell about the outdoor leadership program that we are developing.
It sounds great, Amit. It sounds great. So, Amit, what do you think that what are the soft skill and hard skills this OLP program will be targeting for the students?
Uh, can you please be loud? I'm not
Oh,
able to get you completely. Yeah,
is it better now?
it's way better. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, this program sounds great. OLP program seems like students going to learn a lot of things. But I mean, can you just uh, give a little more detail about these hard and soft skills which they're going to learn in this course of program?
Yeah, I would be happy to provide that. In fact, I was working on that this morning. And so the way it will work, some hard skills will help them derive lessons for character development and just building their confidence. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, let's say that we take map and compass, an exercise that's called navigation. You
Yes.
learn how to read the map and compass. Um, since this doesn't stop there, once you know that, you also have 4 or 5 or 6 people with you with whom you need to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
express your ideas of what you see on the ground and what you see on the
Yes.
map, and understand their ideas. And balancing that, you have to reach a conclusion. So with just
Mm-hmm.
map and compass, you can derive a decision making or a communication based outcome as
Okay.
far as soft skill is concerned. We will also teach them about how to organize your backpack. So they will be packing everything on their own. Every day we will be moving from say A to B, B to C, like that. And I think it's a wonderful thing to do, which teaches them to be more organized. Um, so based on the day, based on how the weather looks like, you sometimes need to pack certain things on top, and so sometimes you don't need them at top.
Yes.
So the ability to think ahead and plan now to be prepared for what's coming during the next 8 hours is a great skill that a student can um, bring back into life um, in the front country and think about the incident, think about the and think about what they need to do in order to achieve what they want to achieve. So basically, breaking down their their act act. So these are few examples. Other than this, they will also learn about mountain terminology. They'll also be interacting with the locals and learning about the culture. They will also
Mm-hmm.
be learning about the leave no trace principles, and there will be discussions around developing an ethic for leave no trace so that they can be more responsible when they are going outside, whether with others or just by themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, this looks like a whole rounded program in terms of learning outcomes as well as making students uh, more responsible towards tourism, and that's a very good thing that uh, as a educator also we should impart to the students because they are the future. So what kind of
Correct.
methodology do you use to achieve these learnings?
Yeah. So like this is going to be totally experiential. That means that it is on the field, on a trek, um, in which so students will get into an experience. After an experience, they will talk about the experience and see what has worked for them and what has not worked for them, and then pull out things because this is a constant feedback loop. What has not worked and what has worked, they can pull out and implement those and then see what they need to change. So the cycle of experiential education, that's what we are going to use for these programs.
Okay, okay, okay. So I had like what you said, that learning from experiences. So one question that I have,
Yeah,
what you said that is coming up to me is when we go to outdoors and when we are with students, there is a lot of focus on there is a lot of focus on everything has to be successful. If anything fails, then it goes against them. They feel bad, but they feel bad that okay, we were not able to do this. And one thing which we also emphasize upon is learning from your failures. So what do you have to say on that?
I think it's very crucial. Failure helps build character more than the success of an expedition helps build character and makes a person resilient to failure or open to trying.
Mhm,
Um, I also see the value that too much failure is also not good for a child's development.
mhm.
I think it primarily depends on how we process that failure, and that's where our evening meeting, evening debriefing of the sessions, reflections, journals, these activities or comes in handy, so that the students are able to speak about their experience, hear others, and also have a perspective of that life doesn't end if you are not able to climb a mountain, or there is no need to end a life if you uh, are not able to get the goal, get the numbers in school, right? There is much more to life other than that. Yeah. So the processing of that, I think, is a very important tool.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think in a education system which emphasizes so much on success and numbers, I think handling failures definitely is one thing that students should have in their, is as one of their skills to move ahead in life, because in life nothing is a guarantee. So moving on,
Yeah.
in all these outdoor programs and our outdoor leadership programs in as specifically, uh, when we talk to parents, when we talk to principals, institutions, the first question that come up is safety. uh, what are the safety standards? What is the quality of instructors? So can you throw some light on what kind of safety standards and quality of instructors is there on all these in on outdoor leadership program, since that is the major concern, and since students are venturing in the wilderness, that should be our priority.
Yeah. I think because this is a very crucial point. Everyone's safety on the program is very important, and obviously the client and or the student safety, whether it's physical safety, emotional safety, are of the utmost importance. Um, so, like in the introduction, you were mentioning WEMT. For those who don't know what those words are, it's a 200-hour training spread over 1 month, and it's a rigorous training. And after that, which is just for understanding or responding to wilderness medicine emergencies in the backcountry. We don't have those trainings available in India, but a lot of people who work on these programs, they need to have at least wilderness first responder as a training. So it's not just a training, but they have also responded to situation like that, where you are away from definitive medical care or hours or days away from that, so that if required, you can stabilize the patient and help carry a patient. So one, people, those who work on these programs are Wilderness First Responder, have been leading such programs for a long time. The the wealth of instructors that we have in India is a wonderful pool that we have. And there you go to market to buy whatever you want to buy. There is every kind of product available. I would say there is every kind of instructor also available um, in the market to come and deliver the program. So it's helpful to see that this person has been working in that field and what is their progression, what have they been doing to train themselves to be updated, to be regular with the training. Yeah. And I'm sure that you guys have some SOPs, standard operating procedures for biking programs. And we are also working on creating the SOPs for the backpacking programs. For example, what is the student instructor ratio or the male female tent, things like that are in consideration, and these are something that is being developed, and we will bring that to the client information for their awareness.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that makes me really feel safe, and I hope students will also feel safe after listening to this. And also, as far as standard operating procedure of Oil India is concerned, we already have instructor student ratio in place. That is 4:1, right? For every 4 student, we have one instructor. Then WFA certification is necessary for every instructor. So that's how we go about it. I think safety is one of the major concern, and that is primary to us. Okay, so basically, outdoor leadership program is about skill, learning, outcomes. But for students, it's also about fun. They also come to enjoy. They also come to see the wilderness. So, how does a normal day on an OLP looks like?
Yeah, so a normal day, it would look different based on if you are at the beginning of the trek or end of the trek or in the middle of the trek. But more or less, it's like you wake up in the morning. If it's a wonderful weather, you wake up with a very nice sunrise. You walk to your kitchen, you prepare your breakfast, you prepare tea for yourself and for your friends. After that, with your morning chores, you start packing the camp. Based on where you are on the course, you will have a class or two to understand that how to move through the terrain, how to communicate with people, and like I said, based on where you are on the course, leadership classes can be in the beginning or in the middle or in the end. Um, so you walk for about 4 to 5 hours, you gain some elevation, um, you sweat a bit, you carry your backpack on your shoulders. We try to have no stop for lunch because it just takes so much time, but carry some dry lunch or leftover breakfast to have on the way. And then you reach the next campsite by early afternoon, and then you pitch your tent. You scout out for a tent site actually, and then you pitch your tent. You make that place your home for a day or two, and then you get into dinner. After that, we sit together as a team, as a community, to talk about the day, process the experience, and it just goes like that.
Great.
Sometimes we go high passes, sometimes we cross rivers, sometimes we walk flat, sometimes we go uphill, sometimes downhill. These are all the funs of being out there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, nothing as satisfying as
It sounds.
waking up in the mountains and coming out and looking at the ice-capped mountains and feeling exhilarated.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
scene
I
is
mean,
also changing all the time. Like sometimes you're, as you rightly said, that sometimes you're crossing rivers, sometimes in the mountains. So I think outdoor exposes you to a lot of things in a single day. And
yeah.
on an OLP like 7 day, I think it's going to be experience in itself. So
Yeah.
And
even though,
because after listening to this, I mean, I wish I could have done something like this as a student. I mean, this program sounds so
yeah,
interesting. I mean, as a
Yeah.
student, I mean, it has fun, it has challenges, it has a lot of learning. I mean, you
Sure.
carry your backpack and you go through day in, day out. Every day is a new experience,
Sure.
seems like. So,
Sure.
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So it just doesn't make you physically stronger or help you connect with the nature. I
Hmm.
think
Mhm.
it just helps build your tolerance level also, that you know you have more than you think you are capable of doing more than you think you can.
For
That and
sure,
that
for
kind of
sure.
attitude is we need to see in the future of the country, that I can do this and I can learn this and I have to try.
And I think, I mean, it plays a very vital role because, I mean, as a student, like at that age, like we need to build that kind of attitude towards thing. I mean, and I think like
Yeah.
these kind of programs really help a person to take a challenge. And I mean, as you said earlier, learning from the failures. And I think nobody talks about that in real life. I mean, in life, like it's okay to be
Yeah.
to facing a failure. I mean, and I think those are really. I mean, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah. It's
think
so
you don't get
important.
those learning anywhere else. Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
So Jitendra was basically asking that what is the importance of outdoor-based experiential learning for school students? Because there is too much emphasis on classroom education, and and we believe that that is primary. But once in a while, what's the how when student venture into the outdoors and experience something, uh, how does it is important for school students?
I think so. The way I see, I think it's very important for our generation to be outside. Um, I am not a very savvy person for social media, but I think it has a very big role to play on how this generation looks like right now.
Mhm.
The amount of time we are spending with gadgets compared to the amount of time we used to spend earlier with actual humans. And um, we have to keep in mind this is the COVID time also. We can't really spend too much time with other humans because of restriction. But still, you go back to the nature. It gives you that sense of uh, things just slows down, and I see that you have time to have a perspective, to look inside, that where you're standing right now and the direction you want to take and what it takes to get to that direction, to get to where you want to go. I think mostly we are so overwhelmed by the the technology, and I see the value of regular education that helps us collect degrees for sure, and more than that, not just collect degrees. There are things more than that. There are things which you do not learn in school, right? Um, Standing or walking in rain for an hour, you don't learn that in school. You're out on an expedition. It's your turn to cook dinner. It starts to snow. You don't learn that in school. That how to manage yourself when you're in that situation, and also how to prepare food for those who are counting on you. So there are consequences that the the nature has, and it has immediate consequences. So it also enables us to think through and be adaptive to what might come across, because we just have no control over nature. It might be sunny when you started your day, but it might be horrendous weather by the end of your trek. Now, how do you stay sane and pitch up your tent, talk effectively with others, communicate effectively with others, um, manage your emotions, and lift the group mood? These things, I think, there's value in, and these are things you learn in outdoors, and that's why there's value in being there. Yeah.
Okay. That's a very valid point, Amit, because I mean, that got me thinking because the thing is, we tend to plan everything in our lives and then we focus on execution. And if anything
Yeah,
goes off plan, then we feel then we feel dejected. Then we feel that okay, we are frustrated. And I think one of the major learning out of outdoor leadership program is that okay, you can plan things, you can go by your plan, and this is the end outcome you are going to achieve. But any
right,
day, anything, anytime, the whole plan can go for a toss, and then you have to change it based on the days which are coming. So
right.
I mean, I mean, that also teaches students and as a human also to basically get, I mean, basically learn how to take your plan also with a pinch of salt. That okay, I mean that nothing is fixed, nothing is given. So that's a very interesting point. So before we end this conversation, we have an interesting thing to share, and Amit will tell us about that. And Amit is going to launch his website today. So Amit, can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, thank you for asking me that. I'm working on creating resources for those who love adventure, whether you're an outdoor educator or you are just an adventure traveler. The website that we have launched is called outdooreducation.in. I repeat, outdooreducation.in.
Mhm.
Um, it is work in progress. We have some articles based on leadership, how you can communicate effectively, give or receive feedback, um, things to consider when you are building a first aid kit, or how to belay when you're top roping. So resources like this will also come up with more leadership curriculum, leadership documents or articles for our viewers uh, to read and watch. And on the same website, there are links to other video resources as well that people can take benefit from. And I will say that, don't see the skill on the video and start implementing. You need to understand there's a value of formal training, and there is a value of having a teacher in your life who teaches you these things and provide feedback. So, but just as a resource, if you think that you know and you want to brush up skills, please use them. If you don't know, but you want to learn before you get the skill, please use them. Yeah, so that's about outdooreducation.in. And yeah,
So the website is live already.
Yeah,
yes,
it's live actually.
yes,
I'm checking it right now on it, and the
Oh,
resources look very like. I mean, it's going to help a lot of people. I mean, I'm just while you were talking about it, I was just going through the website, and yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I can see some videos there, and I mean, yeah, it's a very helpful resource, and
yeah,
thank you very
yeah,
much for creating this thing. I mean, I believe it's going to help a lot of people, and yeah,
yeah. Thank you.
yeah.
And this
and
is also bilingual. So there will be some things in Hindi also. So it's not
yeah.
just for non-Hindi speakers or English speakers.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I think this will be the first of its kind. I mean, I was just like when you were telling about outdooreducation.in, and I really like the tagline. It's learning outside. Learning outside starts here. Yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, it's
yeah,
yeah.
So
Best of luck,
yeah,
man. I mean, yeah. It's keep making this
yeah,
kind of content, and it's gonna help a lot of people.
yeah. Do spread the word and share your thoughts on how it's looking, what the content is like. We at Outdoor Education would be glad to hear what is helping you and what is not, so we can improve
Sure, sure,
and
sure.
help the
Yeah, I mean,
industry. Yeah,
sure.
oh, that's a really great initiative, Amit. And actually, we also needed a repository of knowledge on outdoor education. And as Jitendra rightly said, that this is one of a kind first Indian website because there are websites like this, there are repository like this, but this is one of a kind. coming out of India. So definitely we are going to spread the word. We are going to share it on our social media channels. And congratulations on that. And keep sharing your
Thank you.
blogs and stuff and everything with us. And we have another news to share with you and the audience as well. That
Yeah.
3 years back in 2017, I and Jitendra were in Manali today, and we rode 1,500 kilometers from Manali to Leh to Jammu to
Wow.
raise fund for a NGO called Rhythm of Life.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
I think for me that was the foundational stone of like getting into experiential learning, because the kind of learning I got and the things I learned, I definitely wanted to continue, and that was like a breakthrough journey for me. So today was the day we started that journey. So that's a good.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I have not ridden 150 kilometers of bike ride in a single trip. I think it's wonderful what you have done. Taking them on a bike ride to Bhutan and other places. Leh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Thanks, Amit. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you, Amit,
Thank you very
for
much.
coming on the platform and speaking to us about the
Thank you for
OLP
inviting
program
me.
and
Yeah.
sharing your experience. And obviously, good luck with your new blog, outdooreducation.in, and we are going to spread the word.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Once again, Amit, congratulations. I mean,
Thank
thanks
you.
for, and not even congratulations. I think I should be saying thanks for creating this resource.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really gonna help. I mean, again, I'm repeating my words, which I already said, but I mean, yeah, I remember like just the information. I remember last year you were preparing videos for this, and you were doing editing for these videos, if I'm not wrong, when you were in
Correct.
Hannibal.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's like people who gonna visit this website right now. I mean, it took you like, I mean, no doubt. I mean, you've been in industry for long. I mean, quite a long time. But I mean, it's whatever they see it here. It's like last 1 year's journey, and it's still gonna continue. So yeah, once again,
Yeah.
congratulations and thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much
thank you,
again.
thank you, Amit.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Vikas.
Yeah,
Thank you.
now we'll
Bye
sign.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.